Squid Game was created and written by Wang Donghyuk. Wang says he originally developed the script in 2008 when he was in a bad financial situation and living in a manhwa-bang, reading Japanese survival manga books such as Battle Royale, Liar Game, and Gambling Apocalypse, Kaiji. However, he feared the storyline was too difficult to understand and bizarre at the time. Wang stated, "I wanted to write a story that was an allegory or fable about modern capitalist society, something that depicts an extreme competition, some would like the extreme competition of life. But I wanted it to use the kind of characters we've all met in real life." The two main characters Ji-hun and Sang-woo were based on Hwang's own personal experiences and represented two sides of himself. Ji-hun shared the same aspects of being raised by an economically disadvantaged single mother, while Sang-woo reflected on Wang having attended Seoul National University with high expectations by his family and neighborhood. The series centers on a contest where 456 players, drawn from different walks of life but each deeply in debt, play a set of children's games with deadly penalties for losing, and the chance to win a 45.6 billion Korean won's prize. Wang had conceived of the idea based on his own economic struggles early in life as well as the class disparity within South Korea. Though initially scripted in 2008, Wang had been unable to find a production to support the script until Netflix around 2019 found interest as part of their drive to expand their foreign programming offerings. Wang wrote and directed all 9 episodes himself. Squid Game received overwhelmingly positive reviews, with praise for its acting, originality, directing, visual style, musical score, art direction, atmosphere, and themes. Within a week, it became one of Netflix's most watched programs in several regional markets. Wang based the narrative on Korean games of his childhood to show the irony of a childhood game where competition was not important becoming an extreme competition with people's lives at stake. The central game he selected, the Squid Game, was a popular Korean children's game from the 1970s and 1980s. Hong recalled the Squid Game as the most physically aggressive childhood game I played in neighborhood alleys as a kid, which is why I also loved it the most, and because of this it's the most symbolic game that reflects today's competitive society, so I picked it out as the show's title. The red light, green light game was selected because of its potential to make a lot of losers in one go. Regarding the selection, Wang said, "The game was selected because the scene filled with so many people randomly moving and stopping could be viewed as a ridiculous but a sad group dance." Wang joked that the dalgona candy game they chose may influence sales of dalgona, similar to how sales of Korean gats, traditional hats, had bloomed after broadcast of Netflix's series Kingdom. Licking the candy to free the shape was something that Wang said that he had done as a child and brought it into the script. Wang had considered other Korean children's games such as Gongi, Dong, Dongdaemun. Squid Game, 10 main characters, ranked by likability. The violent events of Netflix's Squid Game bring out the worst in its players, but some of these main characters are still surprisingly likable. Netflix's Squid Game is a dark survival Korean drama series that not only fascinates viewers with its stunning visuals and gripping action but also with its commentary on human morality. Harping on the staggeringly popular Battle Royale format, it snags viewers' attention with its harrowing dystopian visuals of a desolate island, captivates them with its strong performances, and leaves them wanting for more of its intriguing survival games. Netflix's Squid Game has become a massive hit thanks to its compelling plot and unforgettable characters. Some of the more memorable people in the competition have shown that they can be likable despite their horrific actions. Number 10, The Old Man Oil Nam. Player 001 introduces himself as a likable feeble old man with a brain tumor. Ji-hun is immediately drawn to him and does whatever he can to protect the player until the 4th game when he, unfortunately, has to trick the old man to survive. Viewers learn his name then, Oil Nam, before he's shot by a guard in one of the saddest moments on the show. In a mind-blowing twist in the last episode, it's revealed that Il-nam is the smartest character in Squid Game. He's the mastermind behind the violent competition who just wanted to join in so he could feel alive again. Any sympathy viewers felt for him likely vanished at this point, as he manipulated both players and audiences into thinking he was just another defenseless victim of the VIPs. Number 9. The gangster Jang Deok-soo. Deok-soo is the archetypal gangster who enjoys bullying others to feel superior. He is responsible for some of the most horrific actions in Squid Game, including starting a riot that killed several players. His only strategy to stay alive is to use others and put them in harm's way. Seeing him push people to their death in the 5th game is difficult to watch, but not unexpected from the aggressive character. Despite his cutthroat moves though, most fans know that he was just pushed into a corner like the rest of the players, and it was still jarring to see the fear in his eyes as he fell to his death. Number 8. The front man Wang In-ho. The front man, also known as In-ho, is in charge of making sure that the games run smoothly. He takes care of any disturbances and is responsible for welcoming and entertaining the VIPs. One of these interruptions is Junho's infiltration of the island. With a police officer on the loose, the entire competition could be compromised. In another shocking moment in the show, it's revealed that In-ho is actually Junho's missing brother. The police officer is cold-heartedly shot by In-ho, who has become hardened after winning his iteration of the contest. By doing this, he proves that the deadly competition matters more to him than his own family. It's an upsetting scene that reminds viewers how far In-ho will go to keep the game safe every single year. Number 7. Cho Sang-woo. An unpopular opinion about Squid Game is that Sang-woo isn't so bad. He has quickly become a polarizing character in the fan base, with some arguing that his awful actions were justified. However, most fans would still agree that Sang-woo's sacrifice in the last episode doesn't make up for all of his betrayals. While Sang-woo did help his team get through some challenging rounds like in Tug of War, this was more for his own survival than anything else. He's quick to betray his closest friends, like when he let Ji-hun pick the umbrella in the 2nd game and when he tricked Ali in the 4th one. It's understandable that some fans still feel bad for the player, as he was only trying to redeem his reputation so he could face his mom without any shame. Number 6. Han Min-yo. Min-yo is a loud and obnoxious character that no one really likes at first. She manipulates players like Deok-soo so that she could get into the strongest team. Her tactics only get her so far, however, as players unsurprisingly turn her away and leave her alone in the 4th game. She survives after she's identified as the weakest link in the entire competition. The turning point for this character happens in the 5th game, where she reminds both viewers and Deok-soo that she keeps her word. It was disturbing to see the satisfaction and acceptance in her eyes as she hugged Deok-soo and pulled him down from the platform. She was brave enough to give it all up to exact revenge on the devious gangster, just like she promised she would do if he ever betrayed her. Number 5. Wang Junho. There's no questioning the fact that Junho is a smart and skilled character. It takes guts and wit to infiltrate the well-guarded island and learn their system without getting caught. His determination to find his missing brother is admirable, which is why his devastating death hit fans hard. Junho wanted nothing more than to rescue his brother, who turned out to be the front man and his eventual killer. His attempt at doing the right thing and reporting the competition to the authorities came too late, as he was too immersed in his own goal of searching for In-ho. He could have done a lot of things differently, but it's understandable that the heroic character would make mistakes in such a stressful environment. Number 4. Ji-young. Fans probably didn't expect Ji-young to be such a likable player. At first, she seems like a nonchalant person who is quick to berate one of her teammates for his loud prayers. In the next game, she unexpectedly offers to be Sae Byeok's partner, which turns out to be a disastrous decision. As the two wait for the last few minutes of the game, Ji-young opens up about her chaotic past. She tells the tragic story of how she ended up in jail after she murdered her abusive father. Ji-young tells Sae Byeok that unlike her, She has nothing to live for. She purposely loses the game so that Sae Baeok could survive. Fans were likely choking back tears as the courageous Ji Young cried in her last moments, saying how happy she was that she had a chance to meet Sae Baeok. Number 3. Kang Si-byuk. As a North Korean defector, Sae Baeok has learned to rely on nobody else except herself to survive the toughest situations. However, throughout the course of the competition, she learns to trust others like Ji I-hun, Sang-woo, and Ali. She eventually becomes more vulnerable, even opening up about her family and aspirations to Ji Young in the fourth game. Fans have grown to love Sae Baeok throughout the episodes, thanks to her strength and unwavering will to survive for her brother. This is why her character's demise was one of the most heartbreaking deaths in Squid Game. Her moving conversation with Ji I-hun right before her death is a poignant scene that fans won't soon forget. Number 2. The protagonist of the show is not meant to be an ideal hero. As an imperfect father and a gambler, Ji I-hun is a flawed character who makes mistakes. This is precisely what makes it easier to empathize with him and applaud him for making hard decisions during the games. Thanks to his wit, bravery, and a lot of luck, Ji I-hun makes it through until the very end. He's willing to sacrifice the entire prize money just to save Sang-woo, showing how empathetic and kind he still is despite everything he's been through. There's a good chance that fans will see more of his bravery and determination if the show is renewed for another season. Number 1. Ali is easily the most likable character on the show. From the very first episode, the kind-hearted player shows he's willing to risk his own life to save Ji I-hun by lifting him up in red light, green light. As an immigrant, he knows what it's like to be mistreated by cruel individuals, and he doesn't want anyone else to experience hardships like he did. Ali works with Ji I-hun and their team to win every game. His strength is invaluable in tug-of-war and during the violent riots. He's willing to do everything he can to keep his friends alive, which unfortunately makes it easy for Sang-woo to trick him in the fourth game. The look of disappointment, shock, and sadness on Ali's face as he realizes what Sang-woo has done is almost unbearable to watch. He was too trusting and naive to survive the vicious competition. The series became the first Korean drama to top Netflix's top 10 weekly most watched TV show charts globally. It reached number 1 in 90 countries, including the United States and the United Kingdom. Outside of South Korea, Netflix did not invest heavily into promotion of the show, and its popularity was driven primarily through word of mouth and viral spread on social media. Vulture also claimed that the show's widespread localization, with subtitles in 37 languages and dubbed versions in 34 languages, helped to capture an international audience. Wang believed that the popularity was due by the irony that hopeless grown-ups risk their lives to win a kid's game, as well as the familiarity and simplicity of the games that allowed the show to focus on characterization. The diversity of the characters that play the Squid Game, drawing from different walks of lower and middle class life, also helps draw audiences to watch as many could find sympathy in one or more of the characters. Debate around from multilingual viewers over the quality of the show's captioning, with one initial observation that the show's English closed captioning from the dubbed version changes the meaning of some dialogue compared to the spoken Korean dialogue or the closed translation provided in the English subtitled version of the Korean version. Bilingual performers for the English dub acknowledged that there were some translation issues, but this type of work has been challenging due to limitations on how captioning can be presented to viewers. While all of the actors saw increases in followers on their social media accounts in the weeks after Squid Game premiered, Jung Ho-yeon saw one of the largest increases, going from about 400,000 to over 13 million followers in 3 weeks after Squid Game. In October 2021, fashion house Louis Vuitton announced Jung as their new global house ambassador for fashion, watches, and jewelry. Creative director Nicholas Gasquires said that I immediately fell in love with Ho Yeon's great talent and fantastic personality from her performance on Squid Game. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.